All right, more to come on that. Also, one professor says the University of New York is courting anti-Semitism and potential violence by allowing a controversial student to speak at this year's commencement ceremony. Take a listen to student Fatima Mohammed's message to her classmates and decide for yourself.
That as Israel continues to indiscriminately rain bullets and bombs on worshipers, murdering the old, the young, attacking even funerals and graveyards, as it encourages lynch mobs to target Palestinian homes and businesses, as it imprisons its children.
Well, she seems nice. CUNY Law School professor Jeffrey Lax tells Newsmax that the speech was a call for violence and insurrection in America. The student slammed Israel, as you heard there, and the United States for their systems of oppression. She also called on her classmates and others to use their quote-unquote rage to fight against capitalism, racism, imperialism, and Zionism around the world. And get this, she was selected to speak by her fellow students.
Joining us now is CUNY Law professor Jeffrey Lax to talk about this a bit closer. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jeffrey.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, we appreciate your time. It's really hard to listen to that speech. And, you know, talking about her being elected by the students, is this really how the students feel about Israel and the United States? I mean, how could she be the selection here?
Well, by the way, in your long list there of horrific statements by her, you missed one, and that is defunding the U.S. military. Now, what does that mean?
We're actually getting to that, Jeffrey. We have some more of her speech here. And you're right, it's outrageous. It's hard to believe she wasn't yanked off the stage or have her mic cut, you know, and say there's a microphone issue. Let's play that part that you refer to real quickly.
Sure.
Palestine can no longer be the exception to our pursuit of justice, that our morality will not be purchased by investors. The self-serving interests of CUNY Central, an institution that continues to fail us, that continues to train and cooperate with the fascist NYPD, the military, that continues to train IDF soldiers to carry out that same violence globally.
Before she got to law school, did she not learn that there is no Palestine? You know, she talks about Palestine like it's a country, but it doesn't exist.
Well, let me answer the question from previously. Sorry, I didn't mean to skip over that. Obviously, she's lobbying all the typical tired tropes against Jews and against Israel, but she's going a step further, as you guys both pointed out. She's calling for rage against Zionists, rage against a whole entire group of people. I'm a Zionist. I mean, to me, that is coming one very, very close step to incitement to violence. And a lot of academics will probably say it is incitement to violence. And she's calling for rage against, like you said, capitalism. Again, what does that mean? Rage towards capitalism. To me, that sounds like a call for an actual insurrection.
Who are these people, Professor, that jump up like seals in the background and clap at the end of her speech?
Lunatics. These are complete. This is what academia has become.
This guy right here in particular, he seems to really enjoy her message.
Yeah, and you pointed out these are members of the bar, so they should know what incitement to violence is. You know, students have a right to be idiots. When I was a student, I was an idiot. But when they submit a commencement speech to the law school, you should know that almost universally, I've been in this for 20 years full time, I've never heard of a student commencement speech not being first reviewed by the administration. So I actually don't care so much that she's an idiot. Students are allowed to be idiots.
Sure.
That's the privilege of being a student. You learn, you move on with your life. But the administration saw this speech, and in almost every likelihood, they saw the speech, they condoned it, they approved it, and they pushed it forward. That, to me, is what these are law professors. That, to me, is what's horrifying.
And gave her the platform. And also, you know, the Anti-Defamation League came out and said this, that we are appalled to see such an egregious display of hostility towards Zionists and Israel in CUNY's law commencement address, yet another example of the harm Jewish students experience on campus. And the Jewish Community Relations Council said we strongly encourage CUNY to revise its guidelines surrounding commencement speeches. So maybe that is exactly what you're pointing to that will come from this. I mean, we hope something has to be learned with all of this now.
Well, I'll give you a little insight that not many people have, and that is that CUNY Law School is under state investigation right now. They're under active state investigation. New York State has discriminatory boycott laws. You're not allowed to adopt a discriminatory boycott. BDS clearly falls under that law. So I think the reason why they wiped this speech off the internet, and the only reason it's up there, I believe, is because our group, Safe CUNY, foiled it, and they would have had to produce it anyway. So instead of giving it to us, they made it public. But I think they were trying to obstruct the investigation because that speech proves that they are actively implementing BDS on their campus. And if they are doing that, they're in violation of New York State's anti-boycott law, anti-discriminatory boycott law. They're going to be found liable. And I don't think the investigators are going to be too fond of the fact that this speech was concealed from them.
No.
That proves our allegations against them.
Yeah. If it was such a great speech, why are they trying to hide it? And to your point,
and censoring it online.
The public forum, this is not that. This is not the public square where students get to say whatever they want. These speeches are supposed to, speak truth to power and all that, but it's supposed to be a unifying message, and this was not that. Professor Lax, thank you for bringing it to our attention, and keep us posted what happens. Thank you. Newsmax is one of the only ones that covers this. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Well, we are concerned, I think, generally about the rise of anti-Semitism. This certainly speaks to that, and we want to call it out for what it is. Thank you. Thank you.